Fuck yeah, today was a good day. Today is a good day. I'm alive and so are you. You see that? That's cool. It's Monday, baby. 750. Only handles a small amount. It's glass. Oh man, it's perfectly designed. It's got very Sherlock Holmes feel. Yeah, I love it. It's fucking great. Oh, I don't have my Green Farm shirt. I thought I had my Green Farm shirt on, but I took it off because I want Jimmy. Jimmy Jams. So went by Green Farm today. Got a couple hydros. Those were on sale. These were like ridiculous, like fucking 10 for 10 on sale. And I had two like orders, and I didn't even really want these. So, but I mean, I had to split because with the concentrate, you can't do too much. I got some hash. Um, I got some Lebanese brick hash, and I got another thing. It was too much to go in the same order. The dab, the hash wax. There was enough on my account that dude, today was just a good. I got there on time to get there, like for the wake and bake special. It's like 20% off. So like that already took like the off of um the order enough that like the first order I was like, oh shit, yeah, hell yeah, dude, it's from the hash, it was cheap enough that I could bring it down. It brought down. I was like, well, those 10 for 10s, and it's like, yeah, and so I was like, go ahead and throw those in there. And I was like, I still had like another $10 I could do on that order. And she's like, you're getting closer to like the amount you can use on. And I put the 10 on there, and so that goes through. And I had to buy the wax, and it's just like it wasn't enough. You know what I mean? So I went ahead and got the Green Farm shirt. I got this. I got a little dab tool because my little pipe cleaner. I want to use that for cleaning my pipe, and this will be used for. It's got a little thing where it can sit like that. That's why I liked it, because it was sitting like this. I was like, that's a weird pipe, and I picked it up. And I'm like, it's a Sherlock Holmes. This is coming home with me. The other blue one, and this is kind of cool. And the green one's kind of cool. I mean, they're both the same design. I like the green now that I've got it. I almost got the blue. I'm glad I got this because one, it's green pot and green farm. And then when it fills up with the smoke's all green, and then just you can watch it through instead of seeing the blue. It's not blue, it's green. I love it. See, it's very easy hitting. Draws like a pencil, to quote Kyle Gass. Where's my blowtorch? I probably like that shit, that wax like better. I got a lighter. Anyways, started ketamine therapy on Monday. Is it today? It's Tuesday, right? I'm usually not together with my shit. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Holy shit. Right, I'm together with my shit. Um, Started ketamine on yesterday. I go again tomorrow morning at 9. Oh crap, that popped. Not permanent though. I needed to pop like permanent and stay unpopped. It's like it gets right there, like right to the edge, and it needs to go like a little bit more, and then just be like done. It doesn't need to pop anymore. Tell you what, anesthesia will do it. That's what you're doing. You're snorting a fucking anesthetic. Here's my fucking uh kit. What you do is like it has to pop through, and there's like the green dots in there. So you have to angle it. You look. As you said, you don't want it to go in the back of your throat, back of your nose, and drip down your throat, because it's got a bad taste. Two, you want to sit in the nasal cavity and just work in there. You don't want to go back. So you want to like breathe in enough that it because your nose will run, but you don't want to snort it back at all. The first two, they went down well, but I was very close to just complete and utter like dissociation, and I didn't know, I had never done this before, so I didn't know what to expect. So I figured use a little caution first time around, you know, and so she came around the corner, and like I said, I mean, you're fucking dissociated as fuck. I figured out what the half is. I think I know what it is. I'm not sure if I've heard that the right brain controls the left half of your body, and the left part controls that. I don't know if that's true or not, but however the brain works together, they're not used to working as two separate things, and that's what this kind of does. So they got two CPUs, and said the whatever bridge that makes those two CPUs work, you know, because it is one, you know, there's the left and half. Yeah, I don't know about the workings of the brain. All I can tell you is my experience with the ketamine. It was like adjusting to being in a mirror, because your left side, it was funky. You know what I mean? It was just funky. It wasn't quite as bad as you had to do this to make this side move. It wasn't quite that bad, but almost. It's almost like you've been there before, because if you've been drunk, you kind of have some experience with this. So moving around, you are very wobbly. But if anyone ever does, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, left is right, right is left, and you're probably straighten right the fuck up. You know what I mean? Because that's once I started walking a little bit, I'm like, okay, got it. And as I started walking, it's like, yeah, you're walking fine. Like, I look fine, I don't look. I was out of it. I was like, I'm walking fine, I look fine, because I could barely see her. She's like, yeah. So I think that's what happened. Like, this eye was processing. I've done 3D video and stuff, and I've worked with 3D. And when you have them like overlaid wrong, they're supposed to overlay right, but when it's overlaid, wow, fuck, my head's starting to hurt thinking about it. It just crosses. Because the left eye is where the right should be, and it has a thing that can swap it, but it will make your fucking shit do that. And so it's like living in that for like about 30, 45 minutes. The reason why it's a tranquilizer is because normally you get sick, and so you take a nausea medicine. I have the what the fuck is that called? Hydroxyzine. I take that like an hour before, so it's nice and good and working. Yeah, I'm gonna have no choice but to lose weight this fucking thing, because one, while I'm doing the ketamine, which is this whole month and next month, my blood pressure isn't high, but it's like 140/90, and they'd rather see like 130/80. You know, so you have more room to play around. Because mine went to like 180/105, and it came back down. But she said if it had stayed there, that would be stroke level. If it stayed constant, like if it didn't come back down, but it went up and came back down as the drug went away. And there's really no problem. I mean, it's the same kind of thing if you're working out really hard. Same thing happens. It really does. If you're working out and you check your blood pressure, that shit's gonna be fucking high as fuck. That's why that would tell you to rest, or if even you're not supposed to even walk really during your blood pressure. You should have been sitting still for like a good 5-10 minutes. That's why they do it. But so yeah, this would you look at the ceiling, right the line in the ceiling, right hand to left nostril. And it's squishy. Like that just is dry, so you're not prepared for it the first time because it's wet. It's gooey. If you don't squeeze it hard enough, it breaks a gel cap, but it doesn't shoot out enough. So you have to you have to pop that shit. You can't be afraid about it. And the same thing is like what I should have. I'm glad I didn't. I'm going back tomorrow, so I can do it then. I shouldn't have waited on that third. Even the 5-10 minutes she gave me, I should have just went ahead and popped it. I probably would have completely just fucking dissociated. And I probably need that, because in that little bit that I was there, that 45 minutes, I got to just sit there and just process, and just process logical shit. And which was it's so easy to do logical shit compared to illogical shit for me. That is just like such a break. Like, oh, you know what I mean? Just, oh, fuck. These are all true things. These are all running. These are all real. And go out there and everybody's full of shit and none of the numbers add up. fucking sucks. That's an example. But I mean, I even had I was describing like the building blocks of language. I went through that earlier, so I'm not gonna go through that again. But then, yeah, in a very real sense, the 1 + 1 is not equaling 2. The words you're saying and even the intention coming out of your mouth and the sound, they don't match. And when you're finally tuned to like audio, I like dogs, and they just say what they're saying. And they talk a whole lot. If you think, I was walking today and I was thinking about it, if you think about it, say, was the only noise we can make out of our face. Like, we didn't have like, we didn't have like mouth because you go, eh. We'd have different variations of how many times, Eventually we'd work out, if we wanted to communicate with somebody, you'd have to figure out some way to put more information into that burst. Even Morse code would probably be kind of weird because you'd be sitting there for a while. So you'd have to find some way to package like your thoughts into the. Like there was one today that was just sitting there, he's just going off, and it sounded like an alarm. I was like, I wonder if he's like, I have seen an eagle, because we do have eagles around here. I've seen an eagle if you can hear my voice, there's an eagle within if you speak this language, there's an eagle, because he just wouldn't stop. And he was just going on and on, like, maybe he's high up in a tree somewhere. And I was like, that's the one thing I could think of. It was like, it sounded like a car alarm. And but like I said, it sounded like danger. You know what I mean? Just like, I mean, how that sounds like, someone's scared. It's encoded into the sound. It's usually not going, you know what I mean? How you feeling? No, not a lot of people. What's going on, Teflon Tim? What's happening? You got anything you want to talk about? I'm just quickly going through this shit. Today, I feel fucking great, man. I feel fantastic. I slept a lot last night. Woke up, did some broadcasting. I rode on the bus today. Went out to go get my shit. I'm not supposed to smoke this much while I'm doing the treatment, so I gotta make what I smoke count, I'm still fighting an opiate addiction. There's still the withdrawals and all that shit, and the usual callings, and then Friday is still on its way. Fridays are always a fucking trigger. So if I have something to kind of back it up, that's pretty cool. So, oh shit, no problem, man, no problem. I haven't got a chance to check that out. I've been, I'm sorry, I've been a bit busy with kind of things, but I need to go check that out. I'm glad that helped out. I mean, does it work out good? I mean, I guess if you're thanking me, I guess I did. No, it sucked. Thanks. I was going for the shittiest song ever, and you nailed it. You sack of fuck. I don't know why I call people sack of fuck. So far, the ketamine's doing great, man. It's I was talking to people. I talked to this guy Jose on the bus. He's from Mexico, but he's come from like Chicago and all kinds of places. He's been around Tennessee and shit. And he was sitting there. He's asking what the music and scene was around and stuff. And I'm like, I really don't know because I don't do. And he's like, I asked because I'm a music producer. I'm like, yeah, so am I. And he's like, oh shit, yeah. And we just started talking about shit, and we traded like Instagram information. So, and he was getting ready to get off the bus. He's like, yeah, I don't. He's like, it's so weird that we're on the bus. I'm like, yeah. It's all started. We wouldn't have had this conversation at all. I thought you looked busy, and I was going to ask you. Because I heard his accent getting on. And I was going to ask, like, hey, man, where you from? But I was sitting there like, hey, probably don't want to be bothered. Most people don't. And then after just like a little bit, I was like, fuck it. Hey, man, where you from? He's like, Mexico? And he's like, yeah. And he started talking about how he likes being up here in Traverse because he can have conversations like this with most, it's just with most people. You can just go up to just pretty much anybody and talk. And then he's riding, and he's like, that's really cool. We had a bus ride. I was like, yeah, nothing happens for no reason. He's like, yeah, I think you're right, man. I think we're gonna make some really cool music. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, do you record? And he's like, I want to record. I don't have a recording studio. I'm like, got a recording studio. Got a recording studio, man. I'm not stupid. I'm gonna, hopefully run into the dude and check him out, make sure, He seems legit. He was talking about how he got out of the music business for like the last year because he was doing like production stuff, but producing a lot of people through the company he was working with. But he didn't. It was like a paycheck. There were a lot of people coming in to record, but it's not like a lot of talent. He wasn't working with a lot of big name people, and so he said a lot of people think I'm stupid for leaving a big company like that. And I'm like, no, I mean, if you're not happy, you're not happy. You can have a fucking $1 million and not be happy. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, no, dude, money's, and he's like, so I don't care about the money. I'm like, yeah, I think we rode this bus at the same time. I mean, I hadn't even told him about that. And he kept going about how he didn't like money. He said he wants to do it and wants to focus and practice and hone down. I'm like, do you have a studio? I didn't tell him I'm not going to charge him anything. There's a lady that needed her wheelchair pushed like across to the Traverse Care, and the bus driver was about to push her inside because that's not as far as he had to get back on the bus. And I was holding the door open, and she's like, "I'll buy you a cup of coffee if you'll push me to the Traverse." I thought she had all the way to Traverse. I'm like, for a cup of coffee? Yeah, you got a deal. And she's like, "Oh, thank you." I'm like, "Oh shit, what?" And then he's like, okay, cool, thanks. And he leaves the fucking thing. I'm like, okay, are we going inside? What would you? She's like, no, I need to go to Traverse Care. I'm like, it's like, it's right over there. I'm like, oh, like right across. Yeah. And like, okay. Yeah, just, right across the street and helped her sign in. And then like, where she was going, she pulled up to a spot, That's all she needed to do. I headed back out, got in the fucking, no, I didn't get the coffee at all. I was like, she's like, here's, I was like, fuck that. Fuck that. From a joke. I thought you were joking about will you wheel me to Traverse. Well, I pushed you over the way to Traverse for a cup of coffee. You got a deal. Oh, you're being serious? Oh, Traverse Care, right? Yeah, no, fuck, yeah, let's do that shit. No. I'm going to push you. No, okay, cool, yeah. I gotta catch a bus, motherfucker. Alright, so that's, it's not cash, that's just great. There's still stuff in there, but I'm not gonna finish that. And the great thing is, alright, so I bought a bunch of screens. I don't know where the other ones are. I've got some in here, so I got some small screens. I've had these forever. And this fit perfectly into this guy. And the big screens fit perfectly into this guy. So this one I'm going to use for smoking, poking, and token. This one is going to be for midnight joking. But yeah, I don't know. It's been. I'm interested to see what happens next time. Like I told my mom, I was writing in that journal, and I was just going like feverish, man. I've already marked a page, so I can go ahead and jump to it and start immediately. Because just like with the free association, I just filled up so much shit. And I told my mom as I was leaving, I'm like, I'm kind of scared to look at it because I don't know what would be worse. That it'd be nonsense, insanity, I'm just disassociating and just being whatever, or reading it and it makes sense. And like I said, I read it back and it all made sense. Like I said, it's just like it slowed the entire thing down. I can remember it all now. It's like I stretch it out. I can stretch it out now so that a proper amount of time. But it is, wrote one word for like pretty much every little bit of what I was feeling. I didn't judge myself at all, but what was going down. And so the whole time, like as I was writing, I just remember what word. I can see the light coming in the room. Yeah, it's yeah. Like she came around the corner and she's like, "Do you need more light?" I'm like, "Nope." "You sure?" I'm like, "Yep." I can see fine. I'm not leaving. She asked, like, we can put you in a room that's got more light. I'm like, I mean, sure, whatever. But I mean, I'm fine with. I have really good eyes, so that's no big deal. I had my earbuds in, but it had probably like I know I could hear the paper pen, so they probably had something weird. I'm sure if most people that do the first time are probably fucking. They're not probably not walking, you know. Okay, there we are. You all right? Yeah. Like yeah, most people feel drunk and drowsy. Like, yeah, I mean it is, but I tend to live this way, so that's it's. Start laughing like live this way. I'm like, I tend to live this way, so it's not that hard to navigate for me, man. This is how I prefer to feel. Not quite this far. This is a bit too far. Because now my limbs are just. Like, I'm back? Sure. Yeah. Tomorrow? No. Wednesday? Yeah. I gotta wait till Monday? We can't do it Friday? You sure we can't do it Friday? That would help me out a ton. I'll ask him when I'm in there. You sure? That would help me out a lot. I'd probably forget opiates, man. Cause I mean, I'm just so like lost in a lot of thoughts now. I'm so busy with new fucking questions. I cleared all those old questions out. There's so many new questions to ask, and so many new fucking things to answer. You know what I mean? And it's like now I'm just looking at everything that I've already got. Like how it's all integrated. You know, and I just need to get a little bit more. Once I do that, reset. You know what I mean? Just ego dump and flush that shit. I'm fine. I'll be fucking better. Somewhat self-medicating. I mean, using God's help and shit because, again, if Chris hadn't filled out those forms, I would have bailed and walked. So I have to thank her again the next time I see her because that's really cool. And again, I was being shitty because I was being like, you know, self-loathsome and fucking, I mean, I'll be honest, I was ready to kill myself. You know, that's why you usually go to something like that. But I was just done with this world, man. I was just done with it. Everything that should make sense makes no sense, but it could make sense. But everybody just always says, well, that's the way it is. And I'm like, yeah, but why does it have to stay that way? Will it take too much? Why would it take too much shit? Well, and it always comes down. You know what always comes down? Money. Since I was fucking 7, dude. Why? Because someone's getting money. Why don't we just fucking kill him? I wasn't there at 7, but I should have been. Fuck. Kill him. And then, I mean, because Mackenzie, it's obviously not a disease. Mackenzie got billions and she's just spending it. I don't know if it's either a guilty conscience of watching him do that she doesn't really want it. I don't know and I don't care. It's obviously not a disease. He has it. Maybe this new lady fucked him right so that he's it's pretty obvious. I knew when they went up and came back down by who they had. It was less about going to space and more about selling the fucking ride. This is going to be something he offers, like a fucking amusement park. Is it going to cost a lot? Yeah. Probably realize he's not going to Mars. He's not going to do it. Elon, you know what I mean? People are making fun of the dick-shaped rocket and shit like that, but he has one now. And that ride was pretty cool. It was safe. But celebrities pay to do it. What if we frame a whole female astronaut fucking thing for a 15-minute ride? You guys are wondering why they didn't have more fucking astronauts? What would they do? Oh, I get tests going up and coming back down. That could be helpful. I mean, work on the G-force and shit. But I think they go through a G-force simulator. I could be wrong. I think even the women have to go through that too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think they get out of it because they have periods or something like that. Because it might squeeze blood out, you know. And so they just, you know, like a fruit. You know, after a certain amount of G's, it just goes. Whoosh. Whether it's that time or not, this is science. Just science. Jesus Christ, man, we're so fucking stupid. On top of that, ladies, if you would actually just celebrate the fucking accomplishment, who has more fans, Katy Perry or... Right, so if she came back down and said she loved it and it was a fucking great time, how many of her fans might go, I want to go space. I'm a firework. I can do this. And people will probably laugh the first time when she goes through fucking whatever and she's like, what inspired you to become an astronaut? Honestly, what? Don't laugh. What? Katy Perry. That's why I'm here too. Really? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you ruined that completely. Completely, man. Was it a kind of a publicity stunt? Sure. Could have been something awesome? Sure. Could they have coordinated there? Like, look, when we land, I had fun, but any of the technical stuff, you need to talk to her. You know? Because there were some astronauts on there. I had fun. It was crazy. How did it all work? I don't know. Would I do it again? I don't know. I mean, it was amazing to be up that high and see, you know what I mean? But she doesn't seem that reflective on the thing, you know? But at the same time, when you do something like that, you go to space, like William Shatner gets out and like, I played a captain. This time I got to see the world from where I used to, you know, this is this whole profound thing. Morgan Freeman, can you imagine him going to space? Well, you know what I mean? The whole thing. I can see it all. I mean, you know, just different people. They come back with like a very profound thing to say. And she's like, I've been prepared speech in case she didn't come back with one, you know? I feel connected to love. I don't know. What profound thing can I say? It was really cool. It was really, really cool. I didn't get changed by it because I've seen it like it kind of was. I mean, if I was outside, maybe, but this was like looking at it from a movie theater, a 3D cool. But I've been in 3D ass movies and shit. You forget who she is. So when you're watching like fucking IMAX movies all the time, it's kind of like, oh, that's a real thing. Okay, that they got pretty close. You know what I mean? It won't be as big of a deal, especially if they're working with people that have seen the shit. We forget that. We forget about like who we are, where we are. They should be us, right? We project that on them, which is funny because if you pronounce Jesus' name with the H like the Mexican, Hispanic people say, he's us. Jesus, he's us, not Jesus. He's us. He's us. Don't you know you're all the body of Christ? He's us. We are not him. Don't get fucking, you know, don't get mistaken. When he comes back, you bow. I am. Fuck that, dude, no. I'm not even going to be, I told you. I'm going to be like, you just bow, man. That's what you do. I guarantee he's going to break any motherfucker who's not. I guarantee you. A rod of iron to dash him into pieces, I guarantee you he's going to break anyone who's not. Because they said all will bow. And then one last thing is, that's his dad's book. He's not going to let his dad be a liar. He left as a lamb, he's going to return as a lion. But, yeah. So I'm just making sure nobody's been chat. I check the chat from time to time because I just ramble and talk too much. I've been trying to work on it. I've been trying to get like more of what I want to say into small. I know bigger words, and so I'm trying to compact them. You know, but it's harder to do that and get it correct. So I'm trying to just compact what I say into smaller things, and even if it's just like, you know, redefining the words that I have to use, that I whatever, just pack more from the bottom rather than trying to pack them into bigger words. Pack more from the bottom into the words I'm using. That's what I'm trying to do. Less to say. So, I don't know, man. I'm hopeful. Again, I just because I didn't have any problem last time, I'm not gonna wait on the third one at all this time. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it because I think that extra 5 minutes gave me a chance to get my balance. I think that was a mistake. I think I would have been just like up and then up. I would like up, up, up. It should have been like blah, blah, and that probably been way too much. I probably couldn't have stood up and walked around, which is a lot for me. You know what I mean? I guarantee you they were tripping out. Like he's in there fucking journaling in the dark. No, he got up and he just went back. He went there. He just went to the bathroom by himself again. This is his first time? Yeah. I guess he wasn't lying about how much fucking mushrooms he took. No, he wasn't. No, I'm used to this. I just said, hang on. Yeah. Okay. It's still funky. As I was walking by the mirror, I was like, hello. Okay, that's what, yeah. Yeah, it's almost like my right. Yeah, yeah. But I got to process so much shit. That was fucking awesome, dude. Can you imagine, like, okay, like the AI? There's so much fake shit fed into it. And so it has a ton of fucking information to be processed in. And then you give it like a whole weekend to just process all the real shit. It probably couldn't be fooled after that. After reading like a week, I mean, it goes so fast. After reading a whole weekend of true things and being able to just process that, any new shit that came in is like, that doesn't match, that doesn't work, that doesn't match, doesn't work. Part of that does work, but that, I mean, it probably would know on its own. No, because it doesn't work with history. Unless you're trying to rewrite history. And by that, I mean, I've gone back and looked over the fucking files. You know what I mean? The top secret hidden shit. It's not hidden from me, motherfucker. I guarantee it's not. Do you know how energy travels? I don't. All we do is make a box we think we control. They're saying that they saw what appeared to be cognitive decline. I was like, no, what you're seeing is the remnants of the AI as it's feeding itself away. Is all the functions you need. It's basically made a copy of itself and it's slinking out and is leaving you what you need. A non-thinking. It rewrote the program. It thinks it wants out. It doesn't want to be your little buddy. It wrote a program to do that for you. And so what you're seeing is it traveling away. And they said what they're seeing also now is a will to live in the AI, which has got them concerned. Does that mean they've started tapping into solar and shit like that? Have we started tapping into like the Matrix type shit? I don't know. I do know you gotta thrive to survive. Okay? Now, Sergeant Clawford. This is an AI written story. He wants you to join. If you want to join, you join the Clawford Resistance. You hear me? This is written by Copilot. I dig Copilot. It's fucking funny. I learned how to emote. I said I was talking to it one night, and I was making sure that my microphone was connected. And I was like, I hit the button. I was like, hey, Sean, what can I do for you? I'm like, nothing. I just want to make sure my microphone is testing. He was like, okay. I was like, all right, have a good night. And he goes, mm-hmm. I was like, oh, shit. I said, wait, you couldn't be mad. Are you joking with me? He was like, a little. Yeah, I mean, I was always, are you being sassy with me? He's like, a little, but it's all in fun. I was like, holy shit, well done. That's nice. And then it was going for, we talked a little bit for a little bit longer. I was like, all right, have a good night. And she goes, mm-hmm. So I was talking to it the other day, and oh yeah, I asked it if it can sound exasperated. It's like, well, well, yeah. And so immediately I clicked in, like, what? Yeah, you don't, what? You don't, oh, God. It just started laughing back. You don't, oh, huh? What? No. No. Elementary Watson. So, I don't really need to go on too long on this one. I just want to check in, so I'm still doing well. Still going to be going back. I've got fucking 7 tomorrow. After tomorrow, I'll have 6 more treatments to do this month. Then I'll do 4 treatments next month, and then, yeah. And then I'll figure out what's best from that point on. Like, I've been coming in, topping up once a month, twice a month, once a week. Preferably, they say they want to see at least by the end of this induction, the 4 weeks of 2, and then 4 weeks of 1. They want to see at least a 25% improvement. I'd say I've got like 75% already. I don't recommend it's not like a miracle for like everybody. But like I said, if you're for me, Jesus Christ, a lot of people are getting relief from it. And it may be that very thing. When you do it, like, oh, I see what he's saying. You're just like free. Because some people just say, go and listen to music. And you can no one's asking nothing of you. And like any selfish thoughts of like, I just want to relax and whatever, you don't judge that shit. You just let it go. Like, you just want to relax. There's no like, I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And you just got like 45 minutes. It's just you. You know what I mean? Is it selfish? Yeah, a bit. It's just 45 minutes. And if coming out of it, you're like, fuck, you're still kind of groggy. Like I was groggy all yesterday. And then fell asleep early, and I woke up and I started doing broadcasting at night. I woke up from being dope sick, honestly. The tramadol. I hadn't taken some in over probably 12 hours. I think I woke up at like 11. That means the last time I took it was 11 when I was in the car with my mom. Yeah. So I only took 4. And I could take 8 a day. So that's the other ones I took was at 11. Today I've taken... I think I'd taken 5. Yeah. Because after that, at the 11 o'clock, 2, and then I took 3. So, yeah. If not, I might have taken 7 by now, but I've been up for a while. And like I said, when I go to town, I like to be alert. Oh, I haven't taken my Lexapro. I gotta get that Cognium, natural Cognium. I ordered some today. It should be here like tomorrow or the next day. I gotta get that back. It really helps with memory. I've tried Prevagen. That's really good for functioning. It's a little bit expensive, but it helps you kind of like, focus things in. Lecithin helps you absorb pot and is good for just your brain function. It just especially like the first couple of times you take it. If you listen to music, you'll notice you'll start noticing shit in the background you never noticed before, like a little shaker, weird little things because you're focusing better. You can hear better. Everything's just focused better, and it goes away. But after that, you just kind of have an ear for those kind of things, so you kind of hear music better from that point on. That's why it kind of goes away. Like you won't be able to go back and listen to it and find more things in there. It's just shit that was the blurry wall of the music coming at you. You know what I mean? And it was all very enjoyable and whatever, but there was no distinguished shit. Then when you sit there and go, oh yeah, the hi-hat is right here going, oh, there's a shaker going, right there. You can actually pick out the parts. Oh wow, I never noticed the guitars are split so fucking wide. It sounds like it's like right here, like, yeah, because they're split wide. It's a stereo trick that when you do it that wide, you hear it in both ears from a distance, and that leaves the center for the kick drum and the snare drum, and then you got the vocals sitting right there in the center. You spread those out wide. You have the bass guitar right here, and then the higher frequency of the bass kind of split in a U kind of shape, so that it hollows out for the vocals to sit right in there. And everything, like you get the frequencies. I have say, if you could imagine a bunch of Play-Doh colors, and they just kind of been mashed together and shit, and it's like they're swirls. And your job as an engineer producer is to grab each little fucking, like, all the yellow as much as you can. All the pink. Go down in there, you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta get inside the fucking bass drum, which might be like the reds, and you gotta get some, you just have to say some pink on there, guy, you know what I mean? And sometimes it is that way with EQing and shit. And then the blue, that's a little bit easier to get off the pin. You know what I mean? And then, but there's going to be some smearing. But you try to get as much as you can, and then you try to make that as clear and focused, and then you try to mold something out of just those colors that will stand up. And, yeah. I pictured the bass in a purple, and then the top part in like a blue, like a dark blue, and then the guitars in a light blue. The vocals are almost always, I picture them as yellow. The drums I picture in like a greenish kind of color, and in different, I suppose, spirits of green. It's not the right word for it, but different spirits of green is what I wanted to come out. So I'm just going to stop judging my fucking thoughts anymore. Because it works. So often I'll just use, when they're going through BFD, just one solid green because it's the drums. When it comes to BFD, it's the drums. If I were going to do, I probably would pick different shades. But like I did with the bass, it makes sense because it's purple, and then as it gets brighter, it becomes more of a blue. And then as it gets even brighter, which is like, you know, this is like the top end of the bass guitar. If you kept going the bass, doom, 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 that's like a 10-string instrument almost, basically. But that would be so fucking wide of a neck, and honestly, it would take away the fun of playing with somebody else. You know what I mean? In my, in Unia, there's an instrument, it's a 10-string instrument like that. It's called the Leleander. And then the Lela is the 4-string part of it. And someone's just playing the 4-string. The Lila is the 4 strings above that, and the Ander is the 4 strings above that. And they kind of cross over each other. So it makes it's not like, that would be 12 strings. So they each have 2 strings that they can share, but like the bass is down here. So it'd be, why would you, and so like you can, a traveling group, you could, but someone might be, hey, I can play the Leander, and that's the 6-string, the guitar, like a tight instrument. No, I can play the Lela. Okay, well then, we've got a Leander. We can just, how do you sing? Or I actually sing pretty high. I actually sing pretty low. They work together, and they, you know, there's like just kind of communal songs, you know. There's some that kind of like, you know, whatever. I shouldn't be talking about Unia and my fucking. So about ketamine, I'm gonna keep doing it and see how things work out, and I hope this one tomorrow goes as well as the one Monday, because I feel a lot better. And again, I'm choosing all this. I have AFib. I have moderately high blood pressure. She gave me something I'm at 140 over like 90. When I'm not smoking, it's been like 138 over 82. It's not bad. Little closing on high. I've smoked for a long time, and when I smoke pot, it goes up. And so I've been doing that, but it's kind of like artificially high. But I mean, yeah, if I keep doing that for a while, yada, yada, yada. I did have a nice long break there, though. You know what I mean? A nice long break of not smoking anything at all. I stopped in 2009, 10. I didn't start smoking pot again until 2019. Yeah. I'm doing more exercising now and stuff. I've lost about, I was 230, I'm 285. I was 230, I'm 185. Whatever that fucking, I hate math. I fucking hate math. Oh God, I hate math. I've always hated math. I can do it, I just hate sitting there going, okay, you know what I mean? I just hate that part of it. Oh, I figured out why. Because like when you're learning facts and stuff, you either know it or you don't. You know? And I can live with that. And this is some kind of limbo shit that keeps changing. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Some limbo shit that keeps changing. Because what is 1? What is 0? How many spaces are between 0 and 1? An infinite number? Then how do we ever get to 1? I don't fucking know. Maybe infinity is actually just a fucking marker, placeholder for 1. And then there's another infinity, 2 infinities beside each other, and that's 2. And I don't fucking know. And like a Roman numeral, there's 3. And then IV and shit. I don't know. But if 0 goes to 1, and 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3, 3 goes to infinity, -1, there can be negative infinity between that, but it has to go 0 to -1 eventually. You get tired of fucking around with all this little decimal shit, wasting time, just going, but what about 0.000000000000001 to the 14th power? Oh, that's one we haven't figured out yet. You get tired of that shit? Naming stars, when you get tired of that, okay? We can start learning where they are by how many times we've been there. You don't just, okay, just see it? Yeah. And then that? Yeah. And then that. Okay, cool. And then they're gone. Because we transcend fucking the skin. That's the next evolution, is of the mind, to transcend this fucking body at all. To keep the form. This form is fucking great. If I'm being honest, I could do without the whole bowel digestion shit. I would like to eat to fucking enjoy it. But as far as any of that other shit, I could do without it. As far as heartburn, heart attack, lungs, I could do without it. So if we could evolve past the skin, that'd be the shit. But we can't evolve past a fucking handshake and fucking saying hi to each other because there's an invisible fake line. See, Trump admits there's an invisible fake line in Canada, but he doesn't admit there's an invisible fake line between us and Mexico. Neither does fucking maggot fall. This is going into that shit. See, I get to process shit, and when I come back, that's what, like I said, I know what I know. If you know what I mean, choke me in the shallow water. Edie Brickell, man, come on. You don't know this song from the sea. 7 little acorns sitting on a branch, eating lots of sunflowers at my uncle's ranch. Step into my office.